Young John, the wicked producer.
Beauty mama, you know I like you so. See, yeah, cherish you. I stand for you. I wouldn't lie to you, but I feel like for you. In the night, girl, I'm down for you.
Hello guys, welcome to yet another tutorial. Today we're going to be learning how to do a basic skirt pattern. This pattern, with it you can do a variety of other different patterns. Tools we're needing, it's already been listed, so without wasting much time, let's get to it. Alright, so the first thing you need to do is to mark a reference line. It's a top line. Over here I'm using 2 inches, not necessarily because I need to use 2 inches, but I just wanted to get away from that rough edge. You can use 1 inch, whatever you feel like. Once you've done that, you just want to rule a straight line across. So the next thing we're going to do is to get our round hip measurement. That measurement we're going to divide by 2, which will further, that's to get half of it, and then we're further going to divide it by 4. So we're going to be using half our measurement. Remember, we're working on half front and half back, so you're going to use your round hip measurement divide by 2 to get the space you're going to use for your skirt block, but then you further divide it by 4 to get the front and the back. So it's exactly what I'm doing right there. Just go ahead, mark those points, and then rule a straight line across. So this point here is going to be a side seam for both the back and the front pattern. Okay, so right now I'm marking a center back line. First, so from the center front to the center back line is half our round hip measurement, and then the middle line is the side seam, which is quarter of the hip measurement. So that's exactly what I've done. The next thing we're going to do is to mark our hip measurement, our hip length, and that measurement you're also going to divide by 2 to get the midpoint, and then you take your skirt length measurement. So on the side seam line, we're going to do the same thing. We'll mark our hip length measurement and then also further divide it by 2 to get the midpoint, and then you mark the skirt length measurement. Then for the center back, we're going to do the same thing, but at the end you're going to add extra 1 inch to the length of the center back. This is going to help accommodate for the lift the butt usually gives, so it doesn't look like it's pulling up. So that extra 1 inch is going to help accommodate to fill up that lift. Once that is done, just go ahead, draw a straight line across to connect those points. Now once that is done, the next thing you want to do is to mark your across nipple measurement both at the front, the center front, and at the center back. Mark that measurement, and then once you've done that, on your hip line you want to mark 2 to 3 inches above your hip line. That is going to be the length of your front dart measurement. Right here I used 3 inches, or it's left to you. You can use between 2 to 3 inches before your hip line. Now once that is done, you're going to mark quarter of your round waist measurement plus 1 inch for that. And then at the back you're going to do the same thing. You're going to mark quarter of your round waist measurement plus that, and then plus extra 1 inch you're going to remove at the center back for the back shaping, just like we did on our basic bodies. Once you've done that, you're going to connect all your dart points together at the front and also at the back. Now the back dart stops at that hip, small hip line, the one we divided the hip by 2. That's where your back dart stops. And the next thing you want to do is to connect from your hip line to that 1 inch you took in at the back waist. Now when you're placing this curve, make sure that you place it like 1 inch from the hip line, above the hip line, and then you connect to that point. And then once you've done that, you want to connect your hip to your waist on your side seam, line at the front and at the back. Now once you've done that, what I'm doing right now, you can ignore it. This is for when you're shaping your skirt, okay? It is not needed right now, okay? It's not needed right now. It's for when you're shaping your skirt. Now that's measurement depends on individual. If the person has a lot of stomach, you can use 1.5 inch. If the person doesn't really have, normally you shape down with 1 inch. And then at the back, you saw I brought down 3 inches. That is also for back shaping. Now our block pattern is done. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Thank you so much for watching. Have a nice day, and please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and follow us at Campstown. Have a nice day.